The following tutorial is brought to you by WholeLoops.com.
It's production time. I'm Reid Stefan, Realest puppet in the game. Today, we're producing a disrespectful piano beat, and since we're using Ableton, I'm going to use the grand piano that comes from the instrument rack because it actually sounds really good. But it's not particularly disrespectful, so to make it sound aggressive, I'm going to play some really high velocity, really low octave notes to start out with. I can just hit this button. Let's also use this as our 808 MIDI. Probably going to come back and edit this once we hear the rest of it. And I'm going to drop in a snap and a clap. Make these all loops, quantize everything, and click on this one. Little Ableton shortcut for you. And let's use our snap just in the intro, and then we'll layer the clap and the snare as a real hard backbeat for when the beat comes in. And now let's play in some hi-hats. I really like the second half of this. That just felt so clean to me. And instead of quantizing it 100%, I'm just going to quantize it 50%. Something about hip-hop tempos that just makes me want to not snap things completely to the grid. It just feels better. Maybe a little open hat. Let's lay in some kick drums. And let's listen to this with an 808 now. Let's shorten this 808 a little bit as well. Turn the volume up too. And since we now have our piano occupying the low end and our low end occupying the low end, I'm going to go into the sampler for this grand piano. We're going to hit the pan randomization in this piano as well. Maybe not quite that high, but just enough to keep it out of the dead center. So maybe like 22%. Let's also bless this beat with a cymbal. That one's perfect for this. And now for this hook section, I want to layer this with another hi-hat to give it a little bit more energy. I'll layer it with this one. And this one can just play straight eighth notes. And then let's hit this one with some delay. Maybe instead of single ones, we'll do really short, fast ones. And then some pitch bending might set these off. When I do the pitch bends, I like to use these pre-shaped automation curves. Boom. And then just straighten it out by option clicking on it. Duplicate this like this. kind of like this as a short loop. I'm going to put auto pan on these since they're going so quickly. I don't think the pan randomizer inside the sampler is going to get noticed. And let's go for some percussion now. You can't go wrong with that one. Yes. Might just loop this one bit, make it our cowbell. So let's take out our piano for the verse, since we've already just heard that a bunch of times. So I'm going to add my first locator here for verse 1. And let's just go here and hit Command-Shift-D. And that just copied our whole chorus 2. Now I want to add a little plucky counter melody to go behind this. So I'm going to open up Serum. I'm going to hit up whole loops, pop, and plucks. And let's see what we can play over this section of the beat. I'm going to do some really high notes since we already got a bunch of low notes going. That's cool. Let me just turn the volume down on this. Let's record in some notes for this. Let's add one more filter to this just to keep it sounding underwater. Hey. Now let's come up with a different pluck for our verse, something an octave down, and a different preset. And then back into our hook for one final go. Maybe we'll switch back to the snap for the verse too. I think that'll keep it feeling chill.
Are your 808s too respectful? Do your beats lack that organic thump? Maybe you should try Urban Beets 4, our freshest harvest of kicks, snares, percussions, and 808s. So disrespectful, you might get mad you didn't try them sooner. Urban Beets 4 is available now only at wholeloops.com.
Next thing I want to add to beef up this chorus section is a bass pad. I think I'm going to use Massive. It's been a while since I used that. We're just going to go into Voices. Turn this down 2 octaves. And let's send it to the top filter. Make it a low pad. And then let's do a little bit of an envelope on this. Down a couple octaves. And now let's send our 808 to it. Let's go. Let's call this our bass pad, and let's copy this around to our choruses. We can make this a slightly different color. Now let's use a sidechain compressor and duck this to... Let's also duck this to the clap while we're here. Let's add A little voice in here too. Now that we've got our beat arranged out, I'm going to process these pianos a little bit more to make them very disrespectful. And to do that, I'm going to load up the brand new Disrespect sauce. And there's one for Waves and one for Ableton. But since today is an Ableton video, I'm just going to load up the one made out of Stock Ableton Plugins. Let's start out by soloing the piano and dialing in some Disrespect. Let's try taking some of these off. I think I'm actually going to pull the lows down because we already have the 808 doing the lows. Hey. So I'm going to do some automation on this. Let's draw in an S right here. Then I'm going to grab these and just focus it more towards the middle range so it doesn't go all the way up or all the way down, and then duplicate it throughout the whole beat. Let's actually go here, grab the tops of them. And now for where the notes get a little bit softer, I'm going to start using some of the other distortions in here, like the reamp, to add a little bit more disrespect to this. And also I'm going to add some of this WTF. And then when it goes to this really high note, I'm going to pull the highs down, just so it's not piercing. Let's add a lot of sauce here on the hook. I might actually bump the lows up for this part too. I'm going to add some disrespect to these plucks as well. And since we used the Ableton one on the piano, I'm going to use the Waves one on the pluck. So I'm going to go grab Waves Disrespect Sauce. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. I might use that lower WTF distortion and then also hit it with an auto filter afterwards, going this way, so you can get the disrespect but not the low end, because we already have an 808 going during this part. I like that. Little guitar reamp. And now this grit knob is right here is where the Waves Disrespect Sauce is different from the Ableton one. The Ableton one has a bit knob, Waves has a grit knob. So I'm going to do some cool automation with this to help bring up those tails. So I'm going to go like this. I love doing this with distortions. It really makes your reverbs shine. Almost makes it sound like you automated your synths, but nah. And then it jumps right back down. And then another one. I'm going to go to all these automations and have them be slightly lower because I think it's getting a little bit too high. high notes. I think it's too much distortion from the reamp, so I'm going to take it out for these parts. I'm even going to pull the output gain down a bit as well. I forgot there's even some little special claps here at the bottom of... I'm going to have this one happen at the 4th clap. And then this one just after it. It's going to happen over here. Now let's just turn these fancy claps down. Now that we've got our synth sauced up and plenty of drums, let's take a listen to our disrespectful piano beat. There you have it. That's my disrespectful guide to making piano beats in Ableton using disrespectful sauce and disrespectful wave sauce. I'll catch you guys next time with another tutorial. Peace out.